Got it. Jake, is the esports facility going to be all decked out 2 Tuesdays from now for my birthday? No. Damn it. A little fiesta in the room. Jake Grosso, spend your coins. 3,000 credits.
I earned them, bro. You should have seen them play the game I just hit. Awesome fucking Lee Harvey Oswald shit up on that turret.
That one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to BWU Esports. I am Paul, also known as Lucky Lewis.
And I am X, also known as Bobby.
And today we have an Overwatch game here, BW versus Albion. You want to hop over to the... they haven't started yet. But
sure, I think we're waiting on.
We're waiting on one person.
We got the whole team here. We're waiting on Epic MU 1030 to join the lobby here today. Exciting game. Maybe we'll be starting off on Lijiang. We don't know. I don't know if our team has played this before.
It looks like it right now. I don't know if they have either. But there's gonna be some good gaming today.
Oh, man.
I'm very excited.
Going over to that. Where's our flex support?
We need him. He's not online.
Our main support, rather. That's our Lucio legend himself, Eli Wiesel.
He's been playing Lucio lately.
He's gonna be playing Lucio most of the time, at least for these maps with our comp. Definitely running more of a brawlier rush comp, just playing around fast rotations.
Oh, okay.
Around strong corners, tight maps, which is definitely why Lijiang is gonna be our preferred pick for this first control point map.
Interesting. Could you give us a rundown of who's on what roles right now for BW?
Yeah, so Satiny is going to be our tank and just generally strongest player. A lot of the comp is centered around him. Silent is our flex support. We see a lot of him on Baptiste, maybe bringing out some of the Kiriko. Former tier 3 player and our coach, just a phenomenal player all around. And
impressive.
Really guiding this team to where we're at right now. Silent is our flex DPS and trademark Genji main. Definitely going to be seeing a lot of that sort of gameplay, and then just occasionally anything else we might want him to flex onto, very map dependent. And then Flowers 13 here is Ben. He is our second hit scan player, and we'll again be seeing him on a lot of those strong picks right now, maybe some Widowmaker, some Ashe, even some Sojourn.
I've seen him a lot on the Widowmaker. Very important having one of those DPSs on the front line with that Genji, and then having some sort of hit scan to deal with aerial opponents or just from a distance.
Yeah, so the hit scan, just being able to really pressure out aerial targets and just hold down those angles and make it that much scarier for the enemy team to peek. And it makes holding corners, especially if there's a long angle that's parallel to the corner that we're playing, it's just one more source of pressure that makes it harder for the enemy team to walk around, and it takes more cooldowns for them to do so.
Absolutely. And it looks like our 5th has just arrived. Epic MU is now in the lobby. Hopefully we'll be getting this started very soon.
Indeed, they've already got the order set up on our side. We're just waiting for Albion and then ready. And it does. Unless anything else is still waiting on the map pick, I think it is going to be Lijiang for sure.
And I think, what conference is this? Is this GLEC?
This is going to be GLEC, yep. This is, I want to say, our 7th regular season game. And our record right now is, 4-2. 4 wins, 2 losses.
4-2 that's a good record. Hopefully today we can make that 5-2.
That's right.
Do you know what our standing is in the conference overall right now?
GLEC is a very organized league, so there's definitely organization around GLEC. The standings, I don't have any easy access to them, so no.
Gotcha, okay. Well, hopefully BW will be shooting up through the ranks today with this win. Unless Albion can put up some strong resistance, we will have to see.
Sure will. I can't help myself. I gotta see what these guys are on. Got some Tracer Tyrant over here. Looks like a Genji player too. Kai might have met his match with Meemles.
This looks like the tank player. Maybe not.
Could be their tank, could also be their main support. Ninja. I feel like I've seen that guy in my lobbies. So yeah. Don't know. Definitely looks like a pretty even matchup based on those 2 accounts alone. We'll have to see how this goes down. Again, it really does look like Lijiang's map pick, and that is a very confident pick for us. We have a lot of experience here. We know exactly how, the first 30 seconds of any given map, we will play in basically the exact same way. People falling into the picks and really just taking the angles that we need to, knowing which side of the map we should be playing on based on how they're holding it, knowing
different routes and whatnot.
Yeah. Able to take those rotations very quickly, and it looks like they're asking for just a little bit. Hopefully not too long of a wait before we get into this first map here. Gonna be control.
Controversial opinion. I don't like Lijiang.
That is a pretty controversial opinion. This is I mean, from Collegiate to Tier 1, this is a very popular control pick.
Yeah, I am in gold, so maybe that's why.
Well, but so you mostly play tank, right?
I do. I am a tank main.
What is it about Lijiang that gets you groaning when you see that on your Q screen?
I think it's less of it being Lijiang and more of it just being the control game mode. You know?
Control in general? Yeah.
Control in general, because I like to play kind of more of a safe tank. I like to hide behind the corner and just kind of poke at him. I play Ramatra too, so I get that poke damage. I hide behind. I wait for my supports to heal me up, and then I go in and make a play. But on Control, you need to contest that open space. Control's a game mode where there's a point on the map, and you need to go in. You need to capture the space, and there's no cover in that space. And so as a tank player, I find that can be difficult sometimes.
For sure, I'd say Lijiang is one of those maps that it doesn't favor poke compositions as much. More and more just brawlier compositions, and again those sorts of like JQ compositions. You just throw your mid-range hit scan on like the few long angles that are on this map. Most of them directly out of spawn. Yeah. Or on that final rush to the point, and just holding down those strong corners. I can definitely understand it if you're the kind of person that likes to really just look at the big open space and make one big push to get in. It's Lijiang, many times it feels like it's a 2-stage push to get onto a lot of the control points.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whereas in some other maps, even more open maps like Busan, but again, Busan's mecha base is going to be a lot more closed. It really only takes 1 or 2 good cooldown cycles to fully push onto the point and to put the enemy team in another position. Whereas with Lijiang, I'm thinking like the Gardens map. You can really just force a long interval between the start of a fight and a team either falling or getting onto the point.
Yeah, you're right.
And just with left clicks and holding down those very narrow sorts of pushes are able to... especially as a tank player, I can see how that's frustrating.
And then, as you mentioned, with those, with the few sightlines that you do have on Lijiang, it'll be interesting to see what our hit scan DPS Flowers is going to run today. Perhaps maybe he won't be running the Widowmaker because of the lack of long sightlines on Lijiang.
For sure. I mean, as my coach Silent told me, if you're playing Widowmaker on Gardens, the only thing that you can... The way that you play Widowmaker on Gardens is you hard int in Dojo.
Yeah.
And you, I mean, which takes just a lot of confidence in your own mechanical skill, but also in your team. It's something that I know that I'm certainly not able to do. Just really having to be able to line up those shots and trust that, like, once you get dived, that your team is gonna either follow up and let you be the bait or get you out of there.
And it looks like we're gonna get started here, starting on Lijiang.
Starting on Night Market as well. So this is gonna be, I don't know. If you had asked me, this is my least favorite of the 3 Lijiang points. I think this is arguably the most difficult one to retake once it's lost, other than maybe Gardens. I don't know, one of the things that I do like about Lijiang though is that it's all around a balanced map, and between the 3 you can either play the same comp or swap it up. We're gonna see BW coming out on a very standard comp here. We have Silent on the Moira, and then, like I was calling, we have Eli Epic Moo on the Lucio. With Sandy coming out on the JQ Kai, Xylem on the Genji, and then Flowers on the Sombra, which is actually, I did not mention this, but another one of the picks that Flowers is able to play that really nobody else on the team is able to is going to be that Sombra. Something that especially professional hit scan players also have in their arsenal. And we're going to see a very standard comp coming out here from the side of Albion as well, with the Mauga, still very strong right now despite the recent nerfs. We're going to have a Sombra of their own with the Reaper, and then their own Moira and Lucio, taking a lot of space here right away to start.
Absolutely. Really
and
pushing
really
BW
just,
right
yeah,
off that
forcing BW onto this coast, but there's still a lot of cover to play around here. This is anybody's game right now, and it's just going to be able to take advantage of these cooldowns, taking a bit of space, but our Lucio falling right away, as well as Genji. It's going to be 2 quick picks for Albion. Sadly, able to find the Moira, but this is now a 2v4 situation.
That's going to be
he
tough
will
for BW.
quickly fall as well, yes. Very, very decisive fight win here for Albion, with maybe the only true advantage BW coming back with in terms of ult cycle is going to be that 60% on the JQ ult. Support ult looking pretty even. We're actually seeing a swap onto the Ana, forfeiting a lot of that sound barrier charge. Interesting to see how we're going to be playing around that, as Albion is already very close to their support ults, and as well as this Reaper Death Blossom, which can really turn a fight and force cooldowns or even get picks. We're going to be seeing BW slowly waiting to regroup, playing around this first room, and this is going to be that part of Night Market, as I was saying, that really is just hard to push through. You need to make a decisive push.
There goes the Moira ult, and then BW countering with their own Moira ult.
Getting a pick, trading tanks here, the Mauga falling on the side of Albion, but BW's JQ falling as well. Able to find that Sombra, and this is going to be now a 4v3 push for BW going in. But there is that Death Blossom, not finding
really
any purchase.
Yeah. No value.
But the Ana is going to fall at the hands of Moira, and we are going to see slowly Albion able to secure this fight win.
BW is going to have to reset again after the second team fight, not really making any progress here. Still going back to the spawn. Albion pushing right up back to that first choke where they had success from before. BW is going to have to either find another approach or try to find another path through that choke there. We're going to see Flowers taking the high ground here on the Sombra.
Almost getting spy checked out there. This is very interesting. On the side of BW, we have like a cage fight coming out here.
And the Mauga
is actually going to fall in his own cage fight again.
Miss.
Yeah, tanks being traded very quickly here, but we're going to see sound barrier coming out.
There's the EMP.
The free EMP in return. This is going to be a very close fight, but eventually Albion finding the picks that they need. This is the lone Genji 1v3, and a touch is needed within the next couple seconds.
And it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. All those ultimates that they dropped, it's not going to be enough for BW.
Very decisive.
That's a 100-0 right there.
100-0, a perfect round from Albion. BW not even able to push past this first sort of, again, that inside room once that first fight was lost. Albion putting up a very strong defense. EMP for BW not being charged until the very end of the round. Not necessarily a problem, because you might want to wait until after the sound barrier is used in order to use that EMP ultimate ability. But it was just too late in terms of like the cooldowns that BW had on board, and
it looks like we're going to have a complete comp mix-up on BW's side. Satney swapping to the Mauga to mirror that Mauga. But now it looks like we're going to have a Mei, a Reaper, and a Kiriko. And then Epic back on the Lucio, playing a very close brawl.
Using Lucio's speed just to get the team out a bit faster here. And you can see there, now everybody on BW is on a completely different hero than they were walking out on Night Market. And this is exactly what I was saying with Lijiang. Just based on the map, you really can either stick to the same thing if you're confident in it, or completely swap it up if you feel like something isn't working. With the
There goes Satni going down.
Falling
Good
very
sleep
quickly
dart.
here. Sleep on the Mauga might allow BW to get out here, but Asylum as well is going to fall at the
Mauga
hands
is
of
gonna
that
go
Reaper.
in.
This
The
Mauga
ante.
is just absolute slugfest here, slowly burning down the cooldowns, and that's going to stagger out BW as Albion captures this first point.
It's interesting to see the Curie swap on both sides, especially since both tanks are now mirroring the Mauga. I feel like Albion was a little concerned with the ante, and so I think that's why they swapped for the Curie, because the Curie can cleanse the ante on the Mauga, keeping their tank alive, allowing them to be healed. Just like right there with the cleanse from the Curie. The Mauga is going to be a lot harder to take down if they are not anti, but there they go regardless.
Big sleep onto the Reaper ult, that Death Blossom there.
BW is up now, so they still have their tank. Oh, but the reversal on the Reaper. It's not going to be enough.
Played, just able to fire those shotguns. Looks like a single clip. Able to take out 3 of BW's members as just the cooldown and damage advantage slowly withers away. Now the reason we might be seeing this Curie is actually going to be because when Mauga players are on fire again with that right click rather, that right chain gun, it's going to be guaranteed crits no matter where you hit them. So able to just cancel out all of those side effects. Nanoing the Mauga here, but we're going to see an EMP coming in from the side of Albion. Very strong ult as Setney falls immediately as he puts down this cage fight. 5 stuck in there does not matter as this is now a 5v2 for Albion. Very decisive and might be able to even stagger out here ethically. Putting down the cage fight of their own, that's going to stagger out BW even longer. And this is final fight here for BW with very little ultimate advantage to be had.
We're going to see the Roadhog swap from Satney here.
Certainly, if you know anything about this team's history, if you see Satney on the Roadhog, this is not an indication of particularly good mental. Roadhog is going to be one of those characters. Incredible hook onto the Mauga, able to immediately kill him. And again, a huge sleep here on that Reaper. And this is going to be 4v3 pushing in for BW with this Kitsune Rush. Seeing Xylem get a double kill with the Death Blossom, and that is a team kill there for BW. Doubtless, able to now capture this point as Albion slowly regroups. We're gonna have their Mauga here. Listen, BW's not really opting to take much space here, not opting to play up here. Wondering what the ethos behind that call is. Now, standing down one hook, and Albion is able to just, again, take all of the space, and they're already back onto this point.
But a
Seeing
big
another
ante.
hook, Sandy very quickly falling. Asylum having to use a Wraith to get out here now, and this is 5v4 for Albion. Asylum also falling.
Blizzard is now
you
on
see
the
the
field.
big May Blizzard ult.
It's going to get the Mauga.
Mauga's frozen, but surely with that Kitsune Rush, there's plenty of healing on the side of Albion for this 5v3 fight. As
The recap, they're going to have to touch. We're
only
now in
2
overtime.
members on the side of BW.
And it's not looking good. Is anybody
The
going to
lone
get a touch?
Roadhog and Reaper here. No touch to be
Not going to be
had.
enough.
That's going to be very decisively Albion taking this first match.
Albion showing a very strong start to this game. A 2-0. BW only getting 1 capture throughout the past 2 games. We are going to get to play the game from the Reaper on Albion.
We're going to be able to see here now just what happened. Is this fight looked like it might have gone in BW's way, canceling that ult, but again, very quickly just able to look around and get those picks.
Big play.
Very well played here from the DPS of Albion. Unable to be answered by BW's own.
It very much looks like both of these teams are sort of trying to play like a brawl style, would you say?
Definitely a brawlier style. With the Mauga, you might be tempted to say that it's poked because, again, Mauga's can be that hit scan with the chain guns. It can light people on fire from further range. But really, just with the way that Lijiang as a map works, these team fights are going to be very in each other's faces. And with the splash damage and healing of, say, like the Ana grenade or even Kiriko heals, in a sense, is going to really encourage that people play close together, take advantage of the cooldowns that they have. And again, seeing the Mauga with that cardiac overdrive, anybody within that radius is going to be getting self-healing lifesteal damage, rather.
And it just seems like Albion was able to outbrawl BW in this scenario.
Absolutely, yeah.
But now we're taking it to Kings Row. Historically, BW has been very good on Kings Row. They really prefer this map. They love picking this map. So hopefully BW will be able to turn something around here and make the set count 1-1.
Beautiful skyline.
Yep, taking place in England?
Most certainly is. I believe this is London itself.
There's Big Ben. Yeah, of course. What am I talking about?
No. You've got it all wrong. There's Big Ben.
Swapping to the Ashe now.
Again, yeah, we are going to be seeing,
as well as
as I had alluded to, that hate scan, and Sigma, an incredibly flexible tank pick, good at challenging the Mauga pick, which we might be seeing coming up from Albion here. Although it's important to note that, again, of course, the team on defense is going to have the disadvantage in terms of swapping after the first fight. Unless they do abjectly lose the fight, it is much easier for the attacking side to quickly realize, oh, we can't play this comp into this. We need to go back to spawn, swap, only taking at most 20 seconds to get back with a completely fresh composition. Whereas the side of defense, you really can't afford to run all the way back to the spawn room. The only opportunity you're going to have for swaps is if you lose this fight or one of your players dies and you win the fight.
And it's definitely looking like BW playing much more of a poke now, and already the Symmetra going down.
You can see that poke coming in there from the Zenyatta. Just no damage fall off on those orbs, and very big damage at range. That's almost 100 damage per headshot.
Already in the first 10 seconds. Lots of things happening. The Mauga getting half the health bar.
And that Discord on the Mauga is going to be very, very deadly, forcing him back behind this cover to drop that orb.
Albion's going to have to do a soft reset here to sort of get that Symmetra back on the playing field. Very good first hold from BW. Looks like the poke comp is really working out for them.
Sort of questionable positioning, really stacking these hit scans here. So we're going to see a teleport now up on the high ground, forcing down this Ashe.
The Sojourn swap off of the Widowmaker too.
And we're going to see, yes.
They did have that Widowmaker at the first, but yeah.
What is a full flip, really. And now you might even think that Albion is the defending team, but no, indeed. BW has been forced into the attacking side. And Albion has all sorts of angles in high ground. It's going to be very hard for BW to take space on this point again. But gotta remember, Albion definitely can't capture the point if they're standing up there. It's really just a matter of which team is going to make the first move. If we see BW coming around here with the turret.
The turret coming down, forcing them into
this room with the hands. Very, very well played here from Satni. Just forcing all of them into the hotel.
3 will
that
go down.
Splash damage from the Sigma orbs. Working in a very similar way to
Junkrat
Mines. Absolute slugfest here from BW.
Excellent
Stuffing them
BW.
into that room. Very, very, very good cooldown usage. Timing between the turret and the Sigma hands. We'll just force them into that room and deny Albion
absolutely
any options.
Albion, very interesting play from Albion, going for the high ground and wrapping all the way around. I thought for sure they were going to make something happen, but BW responded very well. Now the ults are coming out. The ult cancel.
Oh my gosh, an incredible fast 2-3 picks from Albion with that Kitsune Rush. Again, the huge explosive potential of that ultimate, almost doubling your fire rate, doubling your cooldown.
Satni's going to get a pick, but will it be enough?
No, surely. This is going to be a full capture here for Albion, just with the sheer speed with which BW fell there. Very unfortunate, as I was about to mention, if you were to guide your attention to the top left and right of the screen, BW had the ultimate advantage there, but they didn't have any of them quite unlocked yet. Whereas it was really just that Kitsune Rush on the side of Albion that was needed. Unable to charge those ultimates up fast enough. It doesn't matter that they're down a lot.
Now Albion's going to be taking a lot of space here, popping the BAP window, and they are fighting in that room now. They're going to take out the tank.
Yeah, I mean, that windowed Bastion turret is just absolutely deadly. The Mauga unable to put himself in a position to dodge that. The Sommer's still behind here for BW, but with the Mauga down, it's going to be very, very easy to take the space and then play around these big arches. This is an absolute massive choke point. Anybody familiar with this map knows that this can be very difficult to push through. But the Sigma sort of style is going to encourage that they play back. We're going to see the sound barrier being used aggressively on the side of Albion to push through. But it's no good. The Mauga falling nonetheless. A massive kick from Epic.
On the Reaper.
Absolutely, just removing that Reaper ultimate from the side of BW.
Pick after pick here.
And that's going to be 2 ults out on the side of Albion, neither of which finding purchase. And the only one needed on the side of BW is going to be that Transcendence ultimate. As BW has almost 4 ultimates on mine, that BAP window, of course, charging up very quickly.
Very interesting to see the length of these team fights too. Towards the beginning of the game, all the team fights were like less than 20 seconds. But then this third team fight now that we are on the payload portion, it seems to me like the team fights are a lot longer now.
Oh, getting hacked out of the Graviton.
That's really tough. Sombra, very
The
important.
Gravitic Flux, rather. Yeah, incredibly well played from the side of Albion, just canceling that Sigma ult. Still, BW is going to find the first pick here on that Sombra. It's one of the most critical pick, as now Albion's rushing back in very confidently with that Kitsune rush, and they have every reason to, immediately finding 4.
That
the Mauga
had
does
no
fall
fear.
at the hands of Satni.
But taking 4,
But he is
a
surely
trade
next.
from 1
And
for 4,
this might be a
doesn't
full
matter.
capture on the side of Albion for the second point, based off of that fight alone. BW allowed them to take too much push in the last couple fights, which is going to make it very, very difficult for them to recontest here, especially with, again, Satni being the last player to fall.
And yeah, that Mauga, even though the Mauga did go down, even if he's still got 4 picks, that's the value that he creates.
Exactly.
Even if he goes down, he's already back for the full capture.
There we are.
Albion's going to be in a very good position for this last point. The Mauga charging in. The Bastion turret comes out. There's the EMP.
A huge EMP. They bait all of BW's cooldowns onto that Mauga and then immediately pop that ultimate. Very well played. We're going to see picks traded out here. The Bastion for the Mauga.
The Mauga goes
still
out very
might
early.
be BW's fight to win, as they have purchased here on the high ground for Albion, but the team is split, and without the Mauga, it's going to be very difficult to take any sort of aggressive play.
Satni going back to try and take all that space.
Just how flexible the Sigma is, able to place the shield anywhere, able to eat everything up with that left shift ability.
Having to fall back on that corner now.
Slowly pull back here.
With that window is up, 3 minutes left on the clock.
Forcing them, allowing Satni to, again, play back up to this corner, which he appears to be opting not to. Here we are. We're going to see
the Reaper comes out.
The back, the Reaper ultimate. Actually on the high ground where our Baptiste player was. We're going to see a push directly onto the DPS backline. This Reaper finding 3 picks. Trading out the Mauga, but stuffed into this room, those two stand absolutely no chance of survival. This is final fight now for BW. With 2.5 minutes on the time bank, this is a very, very strong push from Albion. Interested to see how they decide to play this. With both support ults online, that Kitsune rush and that sound barrier, absolutely decisive.
BW's going to have to play. BW's going to have to play the best defense of their life here, with 2 minutes left on the clock, and the payload right on their spawn.
And the Transcendence, however, with no option to cancel healing. It's going to be incredibly important to the side.
There goes the Transcendence.
You see it being popped right there. Although, once again, being hacked out of Flux.
The comes out. There's the cage fight.
Not accounting for the Sombra.
Satni
That is going to be
melted.
That ultimate just easily offline. Incredibly questionable plays from BW. As we see now, Baptiste being forced off of the high ground by that Sombra has just been so difficult for BW during this defense. The Albion, with a minute 47
really
on the clock, is going to full capture this King's Row map.
A lot of what we saw this game is the Mauga charges in and gets a couple picks, and then the rest of the team plays cleanup. And then another important thing I saw was Satni didn't get to use an ultimate at all that game. They were really just 4v5 on ultimates that game because the Sombra, it's super easy for them to just hack the Sigma out of the ult.
No, and I really want to say that I think the picks that we're seeing on the side of BW are speaking to the possible confidence issues going into this Albion match, because again, we've seen Bastion being played with BW on this King's Row before, and it certainly has been strong. But if Sylem's not on the Genji, it's a sign that we're maybe not willing to play our comfort heroes here, the heroes that we know we're best at, and are instead trying to force onto something into Albion, rather having our hand forced by just their ability to push with this Mauga, with this Sombra, with this Reaper, and just absolutely tear apart our backline. But at the cost of sort of, again, the confidence of BW.
But maybe, who knows, maybe BW has a better attack than defense. We'll have to see.
Absolutely, and I mean, I know that when I'm in situations like this, again, just cover up that time bank. It's as if we're on attack first. We can worry about whatever that number is at 147 once we get to round 3.
Yep, absolutely. It does not matter. It's always winnable. Mauga immediately lighting up the high ground, but BW not opting to take it.
King's Row, yeah, is going to be one of those maps that is just so momentum-based, and Albion really demonstrated that they're able to play around that. But BW doubtlessly is able to do the same, as we've seen.
Satni taking all that
Very
space on the
quickly,
right side.
A huge rock onto this Symmetra, forcing them back into this room, but that teleporter setup is pretty big. The Sojourn, very cool, wow, incredibly
Satni goes down.
The Sojourn, but with the confidence that they have there, just stomping directly
but
onto
the tank is down.
Satni.
Both tanks are down, but it's looking like Sylem kills himself. Luckily, what was that, Bastion Grenade?
It is going to be Bastion Nade. It's lost either way there. Flowers able to find a pick out there on the Mauga at the start, but he's going to be quickly sped back with that charge and with the Lucio. Able to capitalize on that at least a tiny bit here, BW. taking
BWU,
a bit more space with a bit less cooldowns than they otherwise would have been able to.
The Mauga is back in the play now. But just like I mentioned earlier, these team fights, they're all like 10, 20 seconds. They're very quick. The Mauga going in. Barely making it out alive. Big rock from Satney there on only 100 HP. Is he going to get the heals? Is he going to be okay?
There is a health pack definitely up here, but
it's looking like he's going to be getting out okay, but the Mauga is going to give chase.
They're
the
all
whole team after him.
Here.
The ult coming out.
A huge flux.
Great cover too. It's
but
not
just so much support from Albion, not
and
finding
anything. And he is
going
to go down.
BW is not there to do the damage again. That gravitic flux is only... God, what are the controls on this? That gravitic flux, rather, is only going to be doing half of the total damage, or the maximum health, rather, of a given enemy's health bar.
No sweat.
So if you're unable to get anybody there below half,
you're not going to get any picks.
Kills, especially with that Suzu, that cleanse ability from the Kiriko in the midair, able to just cancel out all of the damage from the ultimate and bring them above half, even if it doesn't time correctly.
Yeah. And BW is going to have to reset once again. We're going to see Flowers on Sojourn this time. I believe they were on Ashe earlier. The Mauga, the ult cancel.
Canceling! Oh my gosh! That was absolutely incredibly well played. The window for that is so
the first
small.
Pick.
We're going to see the Sojourn from Albion coming in.
And there she goes, the ult
shut
cancel
down.
on the
Very
Sojourn.
questionable if they would throw themselves into the fight like that. This definitely looks like BW's fight to win. Seeing the overclock.
There it goes. That'll be it.
To secure a single kill, but I can definitely understand why one might want to do that.
I think they needed that goes back to the confidence, you know? BW maybe not playing so confident, they just wanted to guarantee that kill so they could get this pick.
Exactly.
Are they going to get a contest here? It looks like they are going to try and contest here.
Albion is going to recontest with a minute on the clock, but it's like their Mauga's going to be getting a lot of healing in there with the Lucio falling.
But it will not be enough. That goes back to the confidence differential between BW and Albion. The Sigma, or not the Sigma, the Mauga charging right in there to try and get that contest.
And we're making progress.
And it's definitely not an unreasonable push because there's going to be, again, the delay between having to finish capturing the point, waiting for the card to unlock, the card slowly being pushed through the arches. All you have to do is force BW back a bit, one teamfight win, and all of a sudden that card is square under the arches again.
Yeah.
It's going to be able to play. But BW famous for playing as far up as they comfortably can on this map and try to just get as much push as they can before the fight really begins.
Playing a very good corner here. Good wall from the Sigma, walling off that high ground where that Symmetra's at.
Not holding onto this railgun, forcing off their Sojourn on that high ground.
The Mauga charging in with the Kitsune
rush. Big window here from BW is not going to allow them to play around this corner as comfortably as they can. Xylem able to find the pick there on right on that Sojourn. He was trying to off-angle, but
2 picks go down.
Underestimated that windowed Bastion as long as what was the railgun from Flowers.
Forcing Albion to retreat a little bit and give that space.
BW is going to be able to continue pushing up here again. Exactly as I was saying in the prelude to this, a very momentum-based map that BW is confident in playing around, knowing how to take space, make it so that by the time the fight starts, Albion has used a lot of cooldowns themselves. That Mauga is going to be forced into that corner with very little healing.
Yep. It definitely looks like a momentum shift on the side of BW. The confidence is back. They're feeling good.
And no ultimates here on the side of
Albion, yeah.
But yet coming up on that beat, but their Lucio's going to fall. The Mauga next, and this is a
Mauga's going to go down.
Surely a capture here from BW.
Big capture for BW here. 3 minutes left on the clock now. I think they have more time than Albion did.
They definitely do going into this because Albion did not drop a single fight after that. But we're seeing BW able to do the same. And again, this is just sort of able to block out, looking at that time bank.
Playing back up on the space.
Unable to get that slide up to the high ground there.
The sim wall is now up. Gonna force BW to play a little bit more careful.
Overclock on the side of Albion as well. Epic move. Able to find their
getting the first pick.
Sojourn. Very strong pick.
The Orisa swap now too.
Be a 4v3 fight for BW. We're going to want to see the overclock coming out on the side of BW.
And there goes the Orisa. Albion now down a tank, and they have overclock online as well as Bap Window.
That's a huge pick there.
They're going to get Flowers. That pick. The Sombra
definitely
swap
in a very, very strong position here to full capture this King's Row with much better time than Albion did. Almost a full minute ahead of Albion as their Orisa and Trace are the only ones here to touch.
And there they go.
Fat headshot on the Kiriko. And
oh my god, what a headshot. What a rail from Flowers there on that Tracer.
That was not a headshot, but...
It wasn't?
No.
Oh,
but he
yeah,
did
you're right.
headshot the Kiriko.
Very impressive stuff.
And again, you don't need headshots when there's 4 teammates there
Yeah.
firing on the same. Absolutely, just getting that damage out quickly, denying any potential for any of their other teammates to contest even longer. In a full 30 seconds quicker than Albion. Again,
Very
really
impressive play
anything
from
can
BWU.
happen on Kings Row. BW being very confident on this map. Although there's no draw potential here. Both teams will have 2 or 3 fights to try to capture this first point and see what they can do with that momentum. Again, the danger of Kings Row is once you get past this first point, the momentum can just be so quick, so
Absolutely.
devastating.
And it's just like you said, once BW was able to capture that point, they steamrolled through the whole payload portion of it, not even dropping a single team fight.
Something that does give me a bit of concern, though, is going to be, we saw Albion capture the point far quicker than BW did. If BW were to have a time bank that they did here now, 2 minutes 15 seconds, they didn't capture the point until they only had a minute or so left on the clock. We're going to be able to see if Albion is able to blitz BW's defense the same way that they did during round 1. If BW is going to be able to hold them off and put themselves in a really good position to capture this first point, only needing 1 pick should they full hold.
Yeah, and with most of the team fights in Overwatch, whoever gets that first pick, it is going to put the other team at a severe disadvantage. So getting that first pick in Overwatch is just so important.
Flowers feeling himself now on the Sojourn, swapping off of this Widowmaker to go back onto the Reaper. And we're going to see Albion playing the same comp that they did on the Lijiang and now the King's Row attack with this Mauga, Sombra, Reaper core, and then the Moira Lucio backline, flexing around a bit as needed.
But you know,
And immediately, BW's going to be
them
pushed
off
back
point.
under to these arches.
I feel like
Interesting to see.
Yep. Albion playing the hotel room up there.
Yeah, but they definitely don't want to push him there again with the Sigma and with the Bastion. Just so much splash damage. Freaking out with the Mauga, but he falls
down
so
goes the
quickly
Mauga.
with that
Oh my
Discord
God.
orb. It's going to be very,
Reaper
very
goes
big
down.
for BW.
The Bastion turret going in with the confidence from Xylem. It's going to deny them all that space.
And they're going to try to poke out the Sombra here. Unlikely
Sombra
to find
is
him
still-
all the
yep.
way hidden up there.
Probably going to be waiting up there for a last second contest, perhaps.
And it's just, it's very questionable to see that Mauga charging in so confidently, knowing that he's able to have that Discord stuck onto him.
And now we have an Orisa swap and a
Orisa
Genji
swap
swap
right
for the
there.
first time.
The Orisa Gold is just going to be so strong. You're going to be able to force them back around this corner. You're going to want to have to hide from that Zenyatta right there.
Orisa going out with the Fortify. Orisa now has no cooldowns. BW's going to have to capitalize on that, but the Orisa playing very safe right now.
Let's see actually again.
ult comes
Genji
out.
on the side.
Big ult from... Big ult.
He is very well played. Hiding
hit
himself
on the
there,
Genji.
rendering himself unable to be caught out.
Ults
But
are
oh my
now-
gosh, Sandy falling, and we're gonna see the Moira
are now
ult
coming
This
out,
is
yep.
huge for Albion. Surely is gonna allow them to fully secure this first point. Definitely putting BW on edge going into this next fight, as Albion is gonna have coming up the EMP, an absolutely explosive ultimate, as well
Absolutely.
as
EMP is a real team fighting ultimate. Real team fight winning ultimate.
absolutely, as well as that sound barrier, able to just turn the momentum of a team fight so quickly, or also just enable an incredibly aggressive push, which we saw Albion do to win the first fight around here.
But now
See the
BW
Bastion ult coming out.
get
Finding
hit.
the Lucio! Incredible from Xylem.
That ult is terrible. I'm impressed that Silent was able to get a pick with it.
Truly. And we're going to see a second pick from Xylem here.
Whoa! Big
As
ult
the
cancel.
Orisa with the
There's
Discord
the EMP.
throws themselves into
But it doesn't
that
matter.
window.
BW is going to capture it.
Nothing. Absolutely blitzing that. Incredibly well played between the Bastion ult, able to pick out that sound barrier, and then just pushing up with the window. Even the Terror Surge with
Yeah.
the Fortify, it means nothing. When you have Discord and when you're standing in a window with a Bastion turret in a Sojourn,
It does not matter.
you just fall right over. So BW able to clean that up very well, deny Albion the momentum that I had alluded to. But now, having to themselves full capture the point and get that little extra push with 2 minutes, we'll have to see if BW is able to do it.
BW's going to have to clutch up here. The big hurdle here is going to take that first point. But once BW gets that first point, they can steamroll right through the payload portion, just like they did in the previous round.
Ready for battle.
So it's going to be really important for BW here to get that capture really quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, we can see the golden box barely even leaving the first point. I've really never seen anything like this. BW just, with that pick on the Lucio, absolutely blitzed right onto Albion, definitely feeling themselves now. I'm very confident that BW is going to be able to just find the window that they need, maybe quite literally with the Baptiste windows. We saw, again, Baptiste is going to be Silent's go-to, most confident pick, and it's a good sign that BW is starting to feel themselves again. Starting to have the confidence that this is a team that we can beat. This is a team that we can play around.
Very winnable for BW here. We are going to see a Sigma swap from Albion. We have not seen that yet.
The Sigmir. Opting not to play the Mauga. Sigma definitely is going to be one of the better tanks to play into that Mauga that Albion was trying to run.
Yeah. Big rock from the Sigma. But it will not be enough to take out Asylum.
No, rocking him. Very perfect hitbox behind that.
Gravitic Flux coming
around with this turret, forcing the Sigma behind this corner. With another rock hitting down Satni. He has his Discord on him. He's going to want to have to lose that fast.
Discord, Lamb, lots of things
back
happening.
in now. The Lamb
more goes down. Silent goes down. There's the first pick.
Out. Absolutely
the second.
A quick fight win here for Albion.
There goes the third, and now the fourth. And that is, yep. It's going to be a quick fight win.
Stuffing Satni in this room. Oh, and a huge stagger out from them. They could have pushed that even further if they'd wanted to. Not sure if that was calmed correctly, but you could definitely see their players letting off there at the last second. And that's going to give BW, again, the same position as Albion was. Not a lot of ult charge and a minute 15 on the clock.
They're going to have one more push here.
If Albion plays this well, this might be final fight for BW, depending on how quickly BW is able to take space.
BW is going to have to play very safe, because if anybody goes down, it could be it for BW.
Go over Satni, seeing him.
It goes down to that first pick.
Huge damage on the Sigma.
Yeah.
That's going to be hand-to-hand there.
Down. The rock.
Surely he's going to fall here.
Almost. The Sigma just barely alive. There he goes. There go the first two picks.
A 3v4 for Albion. Now a 2v4.
Very big for BW.
Definitely putting them in a very good position. Just stalling out this point as much as they can, trying to get their team time.
Will be able to escape. It's going to be up there for the last second contest, I bet.
don't know if he can. These Sigma orbs able to just really poke it in the out. That is going to be a capture for BW. And they only have... They only have 13 meters, and the car will roll itself automatically for a lot of that. But as we can see, the Sojourn there stalling out this fight. A very good position.
The ults are coming out now.
Finding 2 picks from Albion. 3, this is now just Satni left.
Man.
And it looks like BW is going to fall at the hands of Albion, who will be taking the second map.
Tough.
Incredibly close, but again, as I had pointed out, just Albion able to get those ultimates online just a couple percentage earlier than BW. But definitely a lot closer than Lijiang was. Again, as you were saying, going into this is going to be one of BW's most confident maps. We're going to see this play coming in from the Sojourn. I believe that was that overclock with the Baptiste window right here. Oh no, this was even earlier on. This was that first defensive fight win on round 4 for them.
I remember this.
This is where they were trying to stagger that. Yep. Now going into
showing.
game 3, this is match point for BW.
BW's got to make something happen here.
A reverse sweep would be needed now to defeat Albion, and we're going to be going into it's a flashpoint. I believe it's actually control, or not control. Escort.
I'm not sure.
I know the GLEC orders it differently than OWCS does.
Very impressive plays from both teams here today. I'm wondering if we're going to see some more comp swaps coming into Game 3. BW's going to have to make something happen. They're in the corner. If they want to take this game, they're going to have to make some drastic changes in their game plan, because clearly Albion is responding, and they're not giving BW any ground here.
Oh yeah.
And so BW's going to have to, moving it to Circuit Royale, a escort map. One of my favorites, controversial again. I know people do not like Circuit Royale, but I am a fan. Very controversial in the community, though. I'm wondering what BW is thinking, if they are going to change up their composition and whatnot.
Definitely a map that you want some strong hit scan players for. BW having 2 hit scan players on their roster, but only having the flex support, or the flex DPS and their secondary hit scan available today. We're gonna have to see how they end up playing this. Other than OWCS the other day, I was actually seeing a combination of Widowmaker Genji or even Sojourn Genji on Circuit Royale. Definitely a composition that this roster is going to be able to play for the side of BW. Whether they will actually opt to play that, I'm not sure, as I know that in the past we have sort of shied away from bringing out the Genji on Circuit Royale. Again, it really is a confidence thing. Definitely less confident on this map than they might feel on King's Row, but still has been able to pull out some incredible performances in GLEC on this map to secure a 3-0 or to start off a sweep. And it does look like we are going to be seeing Xylem coming out here on the Genji, boding very well with this poke comp. The Sigma is going to be able to play up there with it, getting advantage of the splash heals from the bat, with the Ashe and the Zenyatta just poking at far range. Definitely the sort of playstyle that BWU is used to, implementing on this map. The Genji pick, however, a bit unorthodox. I believe that.
And now we see Albion swapping up their comp just a little bit, back on the Widowmaker. Although in our previous rounds, we haven't really seen the Widowmaker get any value. So I'm wondering if they're going to get more value on Circuit Royale, or if it's going to be another insta-swap.
Though it is, yeah, the double hit scan into BW's Ashe, Widowmaker. Widow versus Ashe duel. Widow's just going to absolutely shit on Ashe every single time. It's going to really be up to Flowers to be able to just contest that. Playing very, very far back. This is going to be out of Ashe's fall-off range, really. As Widowmaker is able to peek out onto this angle with these recent buffs.
Playing a very long sight line. Sandy's going to go down already.
A huge headshot on the Sandy. I believe that was with Discord. You're looking at upwards of 400 damage from just a single left click. And that is going to push BW back. Normally, you might not think this is a problem, but already coming around this corner, and Albion putting themselves in a position of full capture this first point.
And all it took was
just off of that one left click. And it was really just shows the strength of the Widowmaker. Again, questionable that Flowers would not be walking out on the Widowmaker here.
Or even Xylem playing the Genji, going in to contest that space from the Widowmaker, not allowing them to hit those sight lines, although very risky. But once again, if you wait on that Widowmaker, they're going to get that value eventually. Getting another pick on Epic MU, the Zenyatta. If you let the Widowmaker stay there,
yeah, just look like it's going to be an immediate capture here.
It's only a matter of time before the Widowmaker gets value.
Contest, but just the cooldown, the numbers.
Getting the third pick on Sandy again.
And if you were to look at Flowers' ult charge right now, it's really indicating that he's having trouble hitting much of anything with this Ashe. Definitely between the Sigma and just the way that they're playing these angles is the sort of thing where you just need a confident Widowmaker play here. And we're going to see Flowers making that swap right now. Feeling himself able to duel this Widowmaker, who almost already has that infrasight ability. Not looking at their Ashe's ult charge, their Widowmaker has barely given her the opportunity to hit shots, just absolutely nailing those headshots. We're gonna see Sandy even swapping off here to that Winston, as both Xylem and Sandy are picked up.
There they go.
And picked off. That is again gonna be a 4v3 here for Albion. Or a 5v3 rather. Just pushing BW all the way back to that spawn room. Off of the high ground.
Taking all that space back.
And their Widowmaker is going to position all the way almost into third point already. As now Sandy coming back on the Winston.
They're going to have to if they want to prevent this checkpoint. BW's going to have to make
really
something
playing
happen.
to try. One of the weaknesses of this comp is going to be that you're able to just dive in on all of these weak characters. But it doesn't mean anything when your Widowmaker is hitting every single shot. It's immediately picking off Flowers and Silent. This is a 3v3 fight, however. As Epic Moo and Xylem are able to find trading picks. And Albion's not going to be scared to back up here, understanding that the fight is lost and they have 4 minutes on the clock to push 5 meters.
And Xylem gets the pick on the Kiriko.
That's definitely a big stagger, although with her ability to teleport through walls, which might be of questionable game balance.
Gets the pick
able to pick off that Widowmaker, who's
Very
trying to
impressive.
get the jump shot. Very well played there from Flowers. An incredible shot.
Finally getting that value now that BW desperately needs. 3.5 minutes on the clock for Albion. Let's see how far they can push this, if they can get that second checkpoint.
And as a hit scan player, I just know that Mimos here on the Widowmaker being picked off like that is the kind of shot where even if you know that you've won the past 3 duels, you just start to question your own confidence in being able to peek this person. Getting picked off through the trees on that high ground. And we're going to see sights coming out on the side of BW with the rest of their ultimates, except for Transcendence.
And that's Zenyatta playing a very, almost got picked off by Flowers. Zenyatta playing a very dangerous position right now, just waiting for the infrared sights to go out.
Which they do fall down now, and Albion is going to be able to slowly push back up. It was a bit of an odd intrasight timing, but I can definitely see how it would have been played that way to just force them back down and make it so that they have to walk all the way back up. Allowing the Sigma to walk up, very interesting. It's going to allow Sandy to dive onto this back line, and with Sigma having a lot of
Sigma goes down. It does not matter. Baiting up the
incredibly well played there from Xylem in the train. Just cut through with that Discord. Must have been an absolutely
Widow goes
perfect combo
down.
from them. And that's
but
gonna be a
Silem goes
4
down
lead
in
for
response.
here. This Ashe is just on the high ground for no good reason. And this is going to be a decisive fight win for BW, who has turned that 4 minutes now into barely 2.
Sadly getting 2 more picks. You're now starting to see Flowers really get that value on that Widowmaker. Swapping off of the Ashe, I think, was a good decision.
Absolutely the right call. Able to find those headshots, able to find that pressure.
And now we have a lot of swaps on the side of Albion. Swapping off the Widow for the Tracer
Changing up
and
the entire
Sombra.
composition. I believe everybody except for the Kiriko. No, even the Kiriko is going to be on a different hero now.
And now it looks like, yep, Flowers getting almost too much value. Now getting countered by the Sombra and the Tracer. Now they are playing a full dive comp.
Absolutely. Able to just... And he is back here all by himself. If the Sombra were to find him out,
It would be over.
Utterly decisive. But it looks like they're unable to contest him out. But finding Epic Move right away.
The
You see
Genji
the blade
comes
coming out
out.
from Silem. Finding
Getting
one, finding 2! This is now going to be a
Taking
2v3
out.
on the side of BW. 2 critical picks on the backline from Silem, but it is too little, too late. As Sadney is the lone monkey on point, able to hold this out for BW. Finding
Popping
over the Sombra,
the Primal.
popping the Primal. Incredibly
I think
well
it might be
played.
enough.
This is going to be enough for BW to hold this. Very well played. 2 perfect ultimates from our flex DPS and
very
now
impressive.
from our main tank. Just
they are
able
going
to
to be
give
able to hold
give
and
himself
regroup.
the health. Give himself the mobility to live here, wait for the team, and not give Albion any push. Again, however, Epic Move is going to be the first to be picked off again with a well-placed pulse bomb from Nemols.
There goes
This
the
is
hack.
going to be a
Silem
huge
goes
push
down.
onto this backline. Flowers swapping off of the Sojourn, admitting defeat on the Widowmaker in the face of the Sombra and the Tracer. And now this is
Sadney's
going to
now
be an
gonna go
easy
down.
fight win. No ultimate seeded outside of that pulse bomb for Albion, as they are surely set up to capture the second point and move on to third. However, BW able to cut off 3.5 minutes of that time
very-
bank. Incredibly strong
very important
defense,
too.
playing to their strengths, being confident in their ultimate usage between that blade and the primal.
We're going to see Satney on the Hog now. Getting an
on
early
the
hook
Roadhog.
on the... Yep, getting an early hook on the Winston. But
Seeing the
Albion
Sombra.
playing a very strong position on the high ground with the Sombra and the Tracer.
This Sombra on the high ground has just been giving BW so many problems throughout this entire series. And this is absolutely, this third point is the map where it can just be deadly. Being able to teleport up here.
Sadney
just
getting
run
hacked
behind
and melted. The
Absolutely
EMP comes out, melts everybody.
And just the explosive potential of EMP, absolutely.
This is going to be a team
Crumbling
kill.
BW, as Albion is going to be able to push around this corner and almost under these arches off of that one ultimate alone. But the
BW is going to have
Kitsune
one or two more...
Rush-
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kitsune Rush of questionable use there almost with how quickly BW evaporated, but definitely...
And now we have Primal online and Pulse Bomb on Albion's side.
as well as Sound Barrier, 3 huge ultimates. Able to find that first
But
pick.
the Tracer
Although
goes
Tracer
down
falling,
early.
you see Transcendence coming out. The Sound Barrier doing little in the face of this Transcendence, which will match each other's pace. And is going to be able to push this 5 into 3, forcing Albion all the way back. This is final
All the
fight
way
for
back.
them now. Only having that Pulse Bomb and that Primal Rage available. Unsure if they're going to be able to charge up the Kitsune Rush in time. They're going to have to really drag out this pregame.
And now
But
the ball is
BW
going to
will
be in
able to
Albion's
charge-
court.
Exactly.
44 seconds. This is going to be the last team fight. It's all going to come down to whoever gets that first pick.
Absolutely. As we see now a swap onto the Lucio, and
I think if
On the side
BW
of
just plays
BW.
very safe, Albion's going to have to get desperate and make a play here. Opting for the
They're
high
actually
ground,
playing on
getting
this
the
high
pick on the Flowers.
finding Flowers up there, just unable to slide back down into his team. Very
Completely
questionable
wrapping around the
positioning,
whole
truly.
map. Forcing BW off of the payload.
They are being forced into their
In
old
the corner,
spawn.
the Primal comes
This
out.
is just incredibly well played from Albion, fighting 2 picks. The Sombra being picked off in return. Again, we're seeing the strength of Epic Move on that Lucio, able to get picks as if
Satney
he's
popping
a
the full
DPS.
hog.
And this is
pushing
going to be now an
all the
even
way
fight
back.
for Albion. Do they have touch, however? No, a second
I don't
left.
think they have touch.
And this is BW's
And that's
fight to
going
win.
to be it.
Incredibly
Very
well
impressive.
held.
That ultimate at the last second, very clutch from Satney there. Pushing everybody off of the payload, denying all that space from Albion.
Yeah, I mean, despite Flowers just trolling his position on the high ground,
Mm-hmm.
BW is able to get their composure, get the picks that they need, and almost flip that position on Albion. As they were stuffed
Absolutely.
in there, they said, no, you're stuffed in here with
Yeah.
us. And was just able to, again, take advantage of the ultimates that I had alluded to. They're slowly getting charged online. While Albion had some, you're not able to get the Kitsune Rush in time. Whereas we are able to get that whole hog ultimate, as well as some of the support ultimates almost. And we're going to be seeing BW setting themselves up in a position with a win condition. This might be the final round of the series, should BW not be able to capture to that point.
Albion's going to have a very strong defense here, but very strong defense. But BW has a very real potential chance to take this game. If they can get a full capture, that'll be it for Game 3, and they will move on to Game 4, and then we will have a set here.
We will have a series on our hands. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary folks. Just, I mean, again, with a map like Circuit, being able to get that full capture is so much leverage. It puts the team attacking second in such a high pressure position. But BW allowing themselves to force this into being the last round, no matter what happens on Circuit Royale here. Coming out on the Diva, again, not even questioning the Ashe pick here, walking right out on the Widowmaker, making the correct assumption that they are on their Widowmaker and Ashe of their own with that Sigma shield.
You know, the more time that the two Widowmakers spend shooting themselves is less time that they can be shooting the supports or the tank, which in itself provides value to both teams.
But we are going to see
Sadly
Flowers
taking a lot of damage
immediately
right now.
swapping over to that Sojourn. Again, able to find that pick on the Ashe. Sadly just walks in here with that Diva, so oppressive into this comp. Able to deny those Zenyatta Spears, deny those Widow headshots, deny those
Rolling in,
Spears.
even with the Discord. Sadly's in a bad spot here.
Lots of
Is he gonna be able
confidence in
to,
his teammates,
getting the Zenyatta, it does not matter.
It's the ability to recognize that they've used so many more cooldowns than us. Even if Satni falls here, this looks like it should be a full capture on the side of BW.
It's going to be enough.
Pushing up into this Widowmaker.
The Sigma goes down, the Widow goes down. It's going to be enough for BW. Even if Asylum doesn't make it out, they are going to get that capture.
And that is very quickly putting themselves in an incredibly strong position with 5 minutes on the clock to push up into the second point. Again, we saw even Albion burning 2.5 minutes,
Come on, let's move this
and it doesn't matter. Still being able to capture it.
We remember BW here, though, when they were on defense, they held very strong here. We're going to have to see if Albion's going to be able to hold here, too. BW was able to burn 2 minutes off of Albion on their push last time. But we can already see Satni taking all this space, already on the high ground. It's going to be very crucial for BW to get this capture here, because this what really was his time sink in the last round. Albion gets the first pick, but they respond right back with their own pick. The tank goes down.
Fighting 2 with that barrel, very strong, making it a 4v3 situation for BW. It was a hard matrix into Lucio, forcing the Tracer to use her things, using that to get his mech back. Not
Very good awareness from Satni, but it will not be enough.
Schizophrenic positioning right there in the face of the Cassidy, still calling his mech nonetheless.
And it looks like BW's going to have to reset.
Yes, what should have been their fight to win is turned in the favor of Albion as they push all the way back down here with great confidence too on the Winston. Winston, though, a bit of an interesting pick into the Diva.
Absolutely. We do have a lot of ultimates online here from BW. We're going to have Overclock soon. We have Blade, Ko, and Beat Drop. Sandy going in on the Winston. Just kind of poking at them a little bit right now. The Kitsune comes out. The tank is so low. The Coalescence comes online.
Coalescence is going to allow
Sandy going in.
to play all the way up here. But the healing isn't there.
It's not there.
2 picks. The DPS of BW falling, and Sandy surely is next.
They're too occupied.
Getting bonked in the head there by the Tracer. We see BW being forced all the way back to the spawn room. And fell
And that's going to be
right
a big
outside
stagger.
the doors. Incredibly well played from Albion, already having burned 2 minutes off of the clock for BW.
This corner, this second point, proving to be very tough for both teams here. It really is a big time sink.
We see the strength from them here on that Cassidy. Is able to find these headshots, find that just incredible burst damage with those 150 damage Cassidy.
This ends now.
Seeing the overclock coming out.
The high noon coming online.
In fact, both DPS ults. So Silent going in with the Blade.
Big high noon, taking out both the DPS.
But the overclock and the Dragon Blade are countered with a single lone cowboy in his Mexican standoff.
He's the fastest gun in the West, and Satni goes down.
Someone needs to fill this.
BW forcing to reset that one more time.
At this point, yeah, again a reset for BW, and that's going to be 3 minutes off the clock, which is again still a 1-fight point.
Let's move.
We're going to see Sandy coming back out onto the Roadhog again.
Sandy feeling very strong on the Roadhog.
Just able to get that Winston to punish him for a bad dive and really
Put him in the pig pen with
Dude,
the hook.
Yeah, so much immediate damage. A huge.
Oh man, the
Cassidy,
first pick
very,
goes
very
down.
well played.
Cassidy gonna go down. There goes the Winston.
We're seeing right here, right now, why Satney is able to feel so confident on this Roadhog. Just able to get those picks.
The pulse bomb not finding the value. There goes the Lucio. It's looking like BW is gonna get this checkpoint.
Absolutely, very confident for BW. As
Very crucial. Oh, but the Winston, the last second
back
touch.
just in time, very close to this final rage, and using the Kitsune rush right here. Is
Kitsune comes out.
absolutely huge. On the side
Albion
of
feeling very confident. The Cassidy goes down again.
Put him in the pig pen. With these double cooldowns for Albion, is it going to be enough? The Primal Rage coming out. They're committing their ultimates. They're confident that they can win this, and BW is looking a little split, but Albion's health is also looking low. Asylum and a Cassidy falling. 2 picks for the side of Albion. We're seeing
out the beat
a
drop.
sound barrier to confirm this fight, pushing BW to final fight as they are forced down these stairs, sucked into this corner, and denied what should have been a pretty easy capture for them. Just unable to find the picks that they needed in the time frame to make it too dangerous for that Winston to recontest.
Crazy defense from Albion. What we thought was going to be was another checkpoint capture. Denying that from BW. Really going to make them work here.
And this is now final fight. However, if you look at the ultimates in the top corner, Albion only having access to that pulse bomb is going to have to be huge. Not finding anybody, almost finding himself. And we're going to see the aggressive beat and the whole log on the side of BW. Just saying, no, we're pushing you away.
They have the Mauga swap now.
Able to find that
Sadney
kill
gets
there
the
on
first pick.
Trace.
The tank goes down.
And that's going to be a 4v1 now.
BW.
Incredibly well played.
There we go.
Epic move, finding 3 there.
But a big time sink from BW,
yeah.
even more than Albion on that second checkpoint. Very crucial for BW.
Taking them the full 5 minutes to capture that. Only a minute and a half now. And
They're gonna
what is
have to
at
hard
least
steamroll through.
at least a 2-fight capture here. This last little area giant circuit, absolutely notorious.
Sadney getting absolutely melted for picking that corner.
Yeah, they're coming back out on the Mauga now here.
If you're on Mauga, you're gonna have
Able
to
to find
respect
that hook, but isn't enough. We have the coalescence coming out.
Health bars are very low right now.
Coalescence is cancelled by the EMP. That was a 5-man EMP. Absolutely huge from the side of Albion, and that's gonna force BW to almost final fight territory.
BW needs to make something happen here.
This next fight win for BW is absolutely crucial. Unless they were to sack it very quickly for the ult charge, which they might not want to do because then they would know that the cage fight and the sound barrier are online for Albion.
Lots of swaps coming out
I'm
now.
tempted to
on
say
the
that
Sigma.
this might be final fight here for BW.
I think you might be right.
Winning this fight, the series is in their hands. Sandy already so low, able to get hacked as
Sadly
well.
forcing the fall back.
Well, they're playing it safe, knowing that they have enough time to recoup. Wait for the
V-drop
cooldowns.
comes
But
out.
Albion is going to walk out here with shutting down the Cassidy ult. An incredibly well played, aggressive beat there from Albion. Trading out, however, the Mauga. We're going to see the DPS from BW falling, and then the Mauga and the Sombra falling for Albion. This is still an even
BW has
fight,
10 seconds.
but
Someone needs to get on the payload.
Just Satney there to touch on card, but is he going to be able to survive through this?
Mauga in the backline, very split up right now. Satney's gonna go
Now
down.
there, Silent, the only one now on the card. Mauga back in the fight. But then with an overclock on the side of Albion, this is not looking great for BW. You see a sound barrier coming out.
All the
but
ults
it's
coming
no
out.
good.
Nobody's gonna get a
BW
touch.
falling. That is going to be a 3-0 perfect sweep from Albion. Although the score definitely doesn't tell everything. BW putting up a good fight at times, but Albion just having the better cycle, having the better rotations,
Yes.
playing just a bit more collected. We're going to be able to see hacking into Meewell's
The
play the
hack
game
in
crumbed
highlight
on here.
intro.
Surely is going to be that 5-man EMP.
Yes, that was
Not even.
crucial.
Just look at that. Again, we're seeing live now the
Crucial EMP
explosive
for Albion.
potential of that ultimate has given BW so many problems throughout this series. And it's just one of the puzzle pieces that BW was not able to account for.
And that will be a
Seeing
3-0 for
Satney
Albion.
already out of the lobby, very indicative of the current mental state of BW, bringing their record this season to 4-3. Incredibly well played from Albion.
From both sides. Very impressive stuff.
Any final comments, Lucky Lewis? Thoughts on the series?
It was a very good series.
very
Lots of
good
good stuff.
series.
Lots of good plays too.
exciting. Excellent
Very
plays.
impressive plays from both sides. That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say too. Very exciting series, and we're just again seeing the strengths of both teams coming out here, but Albion just a bit more confident in what they're doing, surely on their full main roster, and just knowing what to do.
Confidence definitely a factor in this series today.